Imagine an engine that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for decades. It filters every drop of fuel, regulates the temperature, cleans the exhaust, and manufactures the essential parts needed to keep the machine running. Now, imagine that this engine has no check engine light. It has no alarm system. It has no voice to scream when it is overheating. It just keeps working, silently absorbing damage until the moment it catastrophically fails. This is not a metaphor for a car. This is the biological reality of your liver. Most people think they know the signs of liver damage. They look for yellow eyes or jaundice. They look for severe pain in the abdomen. But here is the terrifying truth. By the time you see yellow eyes or feel that pain, it is often too late. The liver is an incredibly resilient organ, capable of functioning even when 90% of it is damaged. But this resilience is its greatest danger. It dies in silence. According to the American Liver Foundation, nearly 100 million Americans have some form of liver disease, and the vast majority, statistics suggest up to 75%, have absolutely no idea. They are walking around with a silent epidemic known as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. They are not heavy drinkers. They do not fit the stereotype. Yet their liver cells are slowly being replaced by fat and scar tissue. Today, we are going to break the silence. We are not just going to list symptoms. We are going to perform a deep forensic analysis of the human body. We are going to reveal the 9 weird, subtle, and silent signs that your liver is crying for help. Signs that show up on your skin, in your vision, and even on the soles of your feet. We will explain the exact biochemistry behind why your palms might turn red, or why you might feel an unexplainable itch. And most importantly, we are going to unveil the 72-hour regeneration protocol. This is a science-backed nutritional strategy designed to trigger the liver's natural ability to heal itself, flushing out fat and repairing cellular damage, starting in just 3 days. You cannot fix what you do not understand. So let's open the hood and look at the engine. To understand the signs of failure, you first have to respect the function. Your liver is the largest internal organ, sitting quietly under your right rib cage. It is not just a filter. It is a chemical factory performing over 500 vital functions. It filters toxins from your blood, roughly 1.5 quarts every single minute. It produces bile, the detergent necessary to digest fats. It stores glucose for energy. It regulates blood clotting, and crucially, it metabolizes hormones. When the liver begins to struggle, when it becomes clogged with visceral fat or scarred by inflammation, these 500 functions start to slip. The factory gets backed up. Toxins that should be eliminated begin to recirculate. Hormones that should be deactivated stay active. Nutrients that should be absorbed are lost. This systemic failure creates a cascade of strange symptoms that, on the surface, seem completely unrelated to your liver. A doctor might give you a cream for your skin or a pill for your digestion, missing the root cause entirely. We are going to connect those dots right now. We are going to start with the signs you can see in the mirror and end with the signs you feel in the dark. Sign number 1 is pruritus, or persistent itchy skin. This is not the itch from a bug bite or dry winter air. This is different. Patients describe it as a deep, maddening itch that feels like it is coming from under the skin. No amount of scratching relieves it. It is often worse at night, and it typically affects the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet. Why does this happen? The mechanism involves bile salts. Remember, your liver produces bile to digest fats. This bile flows through tiny tubes called bile ducts into your gallbladder and intestines. When the liver is damaged or inflamed, a condition called cholestasis, these microscopic ducts can become compressed or blocked. The bile cannot flow out properly. Instead of going into the gut, the bile backs up into the bloodstream. It circulates through your body and begins to deposit bile salts into the layer of skin just beneath the surface. These salts act as an irritant to your nerve endings. You are literally itching because your body is trying to sweat out the digestive fluids that are trapped in your blood. If you have an itch that no lotion can fix, stop looking at your skin and start looking at your liver. Sign number 2 is Palmar erythema, or liver palms. I want you to do something right now. Hold your hands out in front of you, palms up. Look closely at the fleshy part of your palm, right under your thumb, and the fleshy part under your pinky finger. This area is called the thenar and hypothenar eminence. Are they unusually red? If you press on them, does the red color turn white for a second and then rush back? This is not a rash. It is a vascular condition caused by a specific hormonal imbalance called estrogen dominance. One of the liver's critical but lesser-known jobs is to filter excess hormones, including estrogen, out of the blood. This applies to both men and women. When the liver is sluggish or damaged, it cannot metabolize estrogen efficiently. The hormone levels spike. High estrogen causes something called vasodilation. It signals the tiny blood vessels or capillaries in your extremities to dilate and open up. Your palms turn red because the blood vessels near the surface are permanently dilated due to this hormonal overflow. It is a literal red flag waving from your hands, signaling that your body's hormone filter is clogged. While you are looking at your skin, look for sign number 3, spider angiomas. These are not the same as varicose veins on your legs. They are small red spots that look like a spider, a central red dot with tiny blood vessels radiating out from it. They are most commonly found on the chest, the face, the neck, and the arms. The mechanism here is identical to the red palms. It is driven by elevated estradiol, a potent form of estrogen. Because the liver fails to break this hormone down, it causes these specific clusters of arterioles to swell and become visible through the skin. There is a simple test you can do. If you press on the center red dot with a pin or your fingernail, the legs of the spider should disappear as you cut off the blood flow. When you release, they will refill. If you see clusters of these appearing on your upper body, it is a strong clinical indicator of liver dysfunction, often appearing long before traditional lab tests show a problem. Sign number 4 takes us from the skin to the eyes. This is nyctalopia, or night blindness. You might notice that driving at night has become increasingly difficult. The glare from oncoming headlights blinds you for longer than it used to. Or when you walk into a dark room, your eyes take forever to adjust. You might think, I'm just getting older, or I need new glasses. But the root cause may be nutritional starvation caused by the liver. Here's the biochemistry. To see in the dark, your eyes need vitamin A. Specifically, the cells in your retina, called rods, need vitamin A to function. But vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin. This means it cannot be absorbed by the body unless it is dissolved in fat. And how do we digest fat? With bile. If your liver is congested and not releasing enough bile, you cannot break down and absorb fat. And if you cannot absorb fat, you cannot absorb vitamin A, no matter how many carrots you eat. Your body becomes deficient, and the first part of you to suffer is your night vision. This is a classic example of how a problem in the abdomen causes a symptom in the eyes. Let's move all the way down to your feet. Sign number 5 is cracked heels. We often dismiss this as dry skin or walking too much, but in the context of metabolic health, severe, deep cracks in the heels can be a sign of a dual deficiency: vitamin B3, also known as niacin, and omega-3 fatty acids. Just like vitamin A, these are crucial nutrients that rely on proper liver function to be metabolized and utilized. The liver uses vitamin B3 to repair skin DNA and maintain moisture barriers. When the liver is under stress, fighting inflammation or detoxing alcohol or sugar, it consumes massive amounts of the body's vitamin B3 reserves to repair itself. It steals the nutrients from your skin to save the organ. The result is a condition called pellagra, or a subclinical version of it, which manifests as dry, scaly, cracking skin, particularly on the heels. If you are slathering lotion on your feet every night and it's not working, it's because the dryness is coming from the inside out. Sign number 6 is unexplained bruising. You bump your arm lightly on a door frame, and the next day a massive purple welt appears. Or you find bruises on your legs and you have no idea how they got there. This happens because the liver is the factory that produces the proteins necessary for blood clotting. These proteins are called clotting factors. When the liver is damaged or scarred, its production line slows down. It cannot make enough of these factors. Without them, your blood becomes too thin. Tiny impacts that should be minor cause the capillaries to burst and bleed into the tissue, creating large bruises. This is often accompanied by another red flag: bleeding gums when you brush your teeth. It is not just gingivitis, it is a systemic failure of your blood's ability to clot. Sign number 7 is distinctive: edema, specifically swelling in the right foot or ankle. While kidney issues often cause swelling in both legs, liver issues can sometimes present asymmetrically or be more pronounced on the right side due to the pressure dynamics in the abdomen. However, general swelling in the legs and abdomen, a condition called ascites, is the more common late-stage sign. This happens because of a protein called albumin. Albumin is made exclusively by the liver. Its job is to act like a sponge in your blood vessels, holding the water in. When the liver fails, albumin production drops. The sponge disappears. Water leaks out of your blood vessels and pools in your tissues due to gravity, your ankles, your feet, and your belly. If you press your finger into your swollen ankle and the indentation stays there for a few seconds, known as pitting edema, this is a sign of fluid retention that requires immediate medical attention. Look at your fingernails again. Sign number 8 is Terry's nails, or clubbing. In a healthy nail, you see a pink nail bed with a small white moon at the bottom. In liver disease, the nail bed can turn almost completely white with a thin pink or brown band at the tip. This is known as Terry's nails. It is caused by a combination of low albumin and a reduction in the capillary blood supply to the nail bed. A study from the 1950s found that 80% of patients with severe liver scarring had this specific nail sign. You might also see clubbing, where the fingertips become enlarged and the nail curves downward like the back of a spoon. This is a sign of chronic low oxygen levels in the blood, often linked to the heart or liver conditions like biliary cirrhosis. And finally, sign number 9 involves what you see in the bathroom: dark urine and pale stool. This is the most direct evidence of the plumbing being blocked. Normally, a compound called bilirubin, which is yellow-brown, is processed by the liver and excreted into your stool. This is what gives stool its characteristic brown color. If the liver is damaged or the bile ducts are blocked, the bilirubin cannot get into the gut, so the stool loses its color. It becomes pale, gray, or clay-colored. It might also float because of the undigested fat we discussed earlier. But that bilirubin has to go somewhere, so it backs up into the kidneys and is excreted in the urine. This turns the urine a dark amber or cola color, even if you are hydrated. If you see pale stool and dark urine together, it is the biological equivalent of a check engine light flashing red. Now that we know the signs, we have to ask the uncomfortable question: who is the villain? For decades, we blamed alcohol. And yes, alcohol destroys the liver. But today, we are facing a new enemy. The silent epidemic is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. The two biggest drivers of this are not found in a liquor store. They are found in the pantry. Villain number one is fructose. We are talking about high fructose corn syrup found in sodas, juices, and processed foods. Unlike glucose, which every cell in your body can use for energy, fructose can only be processed by the liver. When you overload your system with soda or juice, the liver has no choice. It converts that fructose directly into liver fat via a process called de novo lipogenesis. It is literally turning sugar into belly fat. Villain number two is industrial seed oils, soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil. These are highly processed fats rich in omega-6 fatty acids. When heated, they oxidize, they create inflammation, they damage the mitochondrial membranes of your liver cells. When you combine high fructose from a soda with high seed oils from French fries, you are creating a liver bomb. You are creating the perfect chemical storm to scar and kill liver cells. But here is the good news. The liver is the only organ in the human body that can fully regenerate itself. You can cut away 2/3 of a liver and it will grow back. It wants to heal. You just have to stop poisoning it and start feeding it the raw materials for repair. This is the 72-hour regeneration protocol. This is not a magic pill. It is a metabolic reset designed to flush the fat and turn on the repair genes. Step 1 is intermittent fasting. For the next 72 hours, you are going to restrict your eating window to 8 hours a day. Why? Because every time you eat, you spike insulin. And when insulin is high, the liver cannot burn fat. It is in storage mode. By fasting for 16 hours a day, for example, stopping eating at 8 p.m. and not eating again until 12 noon, you drop insulin levels. This forces the liver to switch modes. It starts burning its own fat stores for fuel. This process, called autophagy, allows the liver to clean out damaged cells and regenerate new ones. Step 2 is the chemical weapons. You need to eat specific foods that chemically strip fat from the liver. Weapon A is organic coffee. Yes, coffee. It is one of the most potent liver protective substances known to science. It contains polyphenols that reduce liver inflammation and increase antioxidant levels. Studies show that regular coffee drinkers have significantly lower risks of liver scarring. Drink 2 cups of black organic coffee in the morning. Weapon B is cruciferous vegetables: broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, and cauliflower. These vegetables contain a compound called sulforaphane. This compound helps the liver produce enzymes that flush out toxins. But more importantly, they are rich in sulfur. Sulfur is the key ingredient for producing glutathione, the body's master antioxidant. Glutathione is what the liver uses to protect itself from damage. Without sulfur, you cannot make it. Weapon C is choline. This is the fat transporter. Choline is a nutrient that acts like a tow truck. It hooks onto the fat molecules in your liver and tows them out. If you are deficient in choline, the fat gets trapped. The best source: egg yolks. Eat 2 to 3 pasture-raised eggs a day during this protocol. So what happens when you do this? What does the timeline of healing look like? At 24 hours, your glycogen stores or stored sugar in the liver are depleted. Your insulin levels drop drastically. Your liver stops storing fat and begins the process of lipolysis, which is burning fat for energy. You might feel a slight headache as your body switches fuel sources. This is normal. It means it is working. At 72 hours, you have entered a state of deep autophagy. The cleaning crew is fully active. The inflammation markers in your liver begin to drop. The liver cells are actively repairing their mitochondrial engines. You will notice your energy stabilizing. The brain fog associated with a toxic liver will start to lift. Your bloating will decrease as the inflammation subsides. At 30 days, if you continue a modified version of this lifestyle, focusing on low fructose, no seed oils, and intermittent fasting, the fat in your liver can be significantly reduced. The fatty liver diagnosis is not a life sentence. It is reversible. Your skin will clear up, the itching will stop, your heels will heal, and your silent engine will be humming smoothly again. The human body is a miracle of engineering. It is designed to heal. It is designed to survive. But it cannot survive if we keep feeding it the very things that destroy it. Your liver has been working for you, silently, every second of your life. It has taken the hits. It has filtered the toxins. It has kept you alive. Now it is your turn to help it. Look at your hands. Look at your feet. Listen to the itch. These are not annoyances. They are messages. If this video gave you the information you needed, please hit the like button. It helps us spread this life-saving knowledge to others who might be suffering in silence. And make sure you subscribe to Healthy According to Science. We don't follow trends. We follow the evidence. Take care of your engine, and it will take care of you. I will see you in the next video.